Welcome to Mechanical Training World channel. Today we will discuss about UG-39, that is reinforcement required for openings in flat heads and covers, guys. Before starting the topic, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel and click on the bell icon. You will get notified if I upload any new videos, guys. So let's begin this session. If you open the code book, you will see UG-39A first. The UG-39A says that when reinforcement is not required. So, reinforcement is not required when the opening is as per UG-36C3. So, whatever your opening in the flat head is satisfied as per UG-36C3, then your opening not required any reinforcement, guys. And the next one is if your opening size is less than 0.25 into ID. If your opening size is less than 0.25 into internal diameter of the flat head, then reinforcement is not required. For these two conditions, no need of reinforcement. I hope you are getting the point. So let's see what UG-36C3 says. If you open UG-36C, you will see that strength and design of finished openings. So you will get all the rules related to strength and design of finished openings in the UG-36A, guys. And UG-36C3. So we need UG-36C3. So this UG-36C3 says that whatever the small openings, which refers to nodule openings in vessels that do not require reinforcement if you satisfy these two conditions. So if you satisfy these two conditions, no need to provide reinforcement. That is, in first condition, your vessel thickness is less than 10 mm. I mean less than or equal to 10 mm, and your opening ID is less than or equal to 89 mm, then no reinforcement is required. So reinforcement is not required, guys. And your vessel thickness is greater than 10 mm and your opening ID is less than or equal to 60 mm. At this condition, reinforcement is not required. So at these two conditions, your reinforcement is not required, guys. First condition, this one, and second condition. If you satisfy these two conditions, there is no need of reinforcement. So this is what UG-36C3 says, guys. So if you satisfy these conditions, in UG-39 also no need of reinforcement. Until now, we see when reinforcement is not required. So now let us see when reinforcement is required. So reinforcement is required if your opening size, if your opening size is less than or equal to 0.5 into ID of flat head, then you require reinforcement. Then you need to provide reinforcement, guys. This is covered under UG-39B, guys. So if you refer UG-39B, you will see rules for opening size less than 0.5 into ID for reinforcement provision. In UG-39B1 says about single openings. So UG-39B1 deals about single openings and UG-39B2 talks about multiple openings. So if you go to UG-39B1 and B2, you will see rules for reinforcement for single and multiple openings, guys. And next one, UG-39C. UG-39C talks about if your opening size is greater than 0.5 into ID, then you required reinforcement pad. Then you need to provide reinforcement pad. You need to provide reinforcement pad at these both conditions, UG-39B and UG-39C. So let us discuss UG-39B first, guys. In UG-39B also, we are discussing about UG-39B1. That is all about single openings. This is your flat head. And if your flat head has only one opening, this is your nozzle opening, guys. So this is the diameter of the inside diameter of the opening, and this T is nothing but vessel thickness, and this Tn is nothing but nozzle thickness. If your flat head has only single opening and your opening size is less than 0.5 ID, so anyway we know that if your opening size is less than 0.25 into ID means there is no need of reinforcement. But if your opening size is between 0.25 to 0.5, then you require reinforcement for this single opening. So if your flat head has only single opening and if your single opening size is less than 0.25 into ID, then you need to provide reinforcement. Guys. And this reinforcement area must be satisfy this condition. So whatever your reinforcement area must be greater than or equal to this value, that is 0.5 into D into T plus T into Tn into 1 minus FR1. FR1 is the allowable stress ratios for nozzle and vessel. And Tn is the nozzle thickness, T is the vessel thickness, and D is the inside nozzle diameter. I mean, inside nozzle diameter or inside opening diameter. So for single opening, you need to satisfy this reinforcement area formula. And next one, UG-39B2. So UG-39B2 talks about multiple openings, guys. So if your flat head has multiple openings, so this is your flat head, right? This is your flat head, and you have multiple openings. So you can see this is one and this is two, guys. You have two openings. You have pair of openings is there, and this multiple openings has opening size less than 0.5 into ID. That means D1 and D2. If your D1 and D2 less than 0.5 into ID, and your whatever the average diameter is less than 0.5 into ID. So what does it mean average diameter? So here you have two openings. Your average diameter of pair of openings is equal to D1 plus D2 by 2, guys. So we already know this formula. This is the basic formula in mathematics we use generally for averages. So for your average diameter of two openings is equal to D1 plus D2 by 2. If you have three openings, then D1 plus D2 plus D3 by 3. So this is the average diameter of three openings, guys. So if your multiple opening size is less than 0.5 into ID and your average diameter is less than or equal to 0.25 into ID, and in this also you will have three different conditions. The first condition is if your spacing is greater than or equal to 2 into average diameter. If your spacing is nothing but the distance between two openings, guys. This is your spacing. If your spacing is greater than 2 into average diameter, then your required reinforcement area shall satisfy this formula. So I hope you are getting this point. So let's see another condition. If your spacing is between 1.25 to 2, if your spacing is between 1.25 to 2, then we will discuss in next slide, guys. So we have some conditions. If your spacing is 1.25 to 2, we will discuss in next slide. So let's see next condition. If your spacing is less than 1.25 into average diameter, then you need to follow as per U2G. So U2G says that you need to do finite element analysis, or you need to follow division 2, or you need to follow other applicable standards. Okay. So this is all about UG-39B2, guys. So let's discuss these three conditions one by one. So the first condition. So let's try to understand the first condition. So this is our flathead and this is our openings. Okay. So opening, let us assume both openings have same diameter. That is D and D. So both openings have same diameter. And the spacing, I'm assuming spacing between these two openings is 2 into average diameter. So if you calculate 2 into average diameter, your spacing will be 2D, guys. So you can see here in the diagram, your spacing is equal to 2D. So then your reinforcement area is this formula, right? So this is what your first condition says. So if you calculate this area formula, you will get some value. So if you provide that reinforcement pad in that area, you will look like this. So this is the reinforcement area for reinforcement pads. So this is exactly you will see. If your spacing is 2D, if your spacing is 2D, your reinforcement pads are correctly located. Okay. So this is exactly placed. If your spacing is equal to 2D, then your pads are just touching. If spacing increases, if spacing is greater than 2D, then here gap between these two nodules also increases, guys. So whatever this gap between these two nodules also increases. So you have enough space to provide reinforcement pads. But the problem is if spacing is less than 2 into average diameter, then this space reduces, guys. So there is not that much space is available here. If you provide a reinforcement pad in that location, you will see like this. It is overlapping. So you can see it is overlapping. I hope you are getting the point. If your space is less than 2 into average diameter, your reinforcement pads overlapping. So let's see second condition. So this is what second condition says. So in second condition also I'm assuming same diameter for both openings, and I'm assuming spacing is equal to 1.25 into average diameter. So this is what actually second condition, right? 1.25 to 0.5. If your spacing is between this value, this is our second condition. So if your spacing is equal to 1.25 into average diameter, if you calculate that thing, you will get 1.25D. Your spacing is equal to 1.25D. At this condition, if you provide reinforcement pad, it will be overlapping, guys. So it is overlapping. So I hope I indicated in red color. I hope you are observing. So these two reinforcement pads are overlapping. That means whatever some of the area is not present due to overlapping of two pads, guys. So we are not satisfying the required reinforcement area here. So because here two reinforcement pads are overlapping. You want to satisfy the required reinforcement area, you need to increase the thickness of the reinforcement pad, guys. So if you see here, I increase the effective thickness of the reinforcement area here. So this is how you need to satisfy the second condition. That means you need to increase the required thickness of the reinforcement pad. So now you satisfy that whatever the area is located between the two openings is okay. So if you provide reinforcement pad, you will see like this. So I increased the thickness of the reinforcement pad. Now the condition is satisfied. So this is all about second condition, guys. We know that in third condition, if your spacing is less than if your spacing is less than 1.25 into average diameter, then you need to follow U2G. So this is all about UG-39B, guys. So if you open the code book, you will find all this data in the UG-39B. So before going to the next point, if you like this content, if you like this explanation, please subscribe my channel and share to your friends. So they will also get benefited. And hit the like button, guys. So let's go to the next point. UG-39B3, ligament width. What does it mean, ligament width? So if this is your flat head and you have different openings here. So like opening 1, opening 2, opening 3, and opening 4. Like this, you have so many openings, right? So the width between these two openings must satisfy this condition. For multiple openings, your ligament width greater than 0.25 into minimum of D1 or D2. So I want to explain here. So this whatever U2, U1, U5. So whatever you are seeing here, this is nothing but ligament width, guide. Distance between two openings or distance between opening inside to head. So this is nothing but ligament width. So this ligament width must be 0.25 into here D2 for this edge condition. So if your ligament width is between two openings, so then you need to satisfy this condition. So here you can see between these two openings, your ligament width must be greater than or equal to 0.25 into minimum of D1 or D2. For here, your ligament width must be greater than 0.25 into D2 into D3, D2 or D2, D3. So I hope you are getting this point. So this is all about UG-39B3. And the next one, UG-39C. So UG-39C also talks about multiple openings. If your opening size is greater than 0.5 into ID, if your opening size is 0.5 into ID, then your flat head is to satisfy mandatory appendix 14. So we will discuss this mandatory appendix 14 in upcoming videos, guys. This is all about UG-39, guys. That is reinforcement required for openings in flat heads and covers. In next videos, we will cover other UG clauses. Until then, please follow my channel.